CV templates and LinkedIn messaging templates has landed me several job interviews that led to job offers. So whether you're in the UK or in Nigeria or anywhere in the world and you are actively searching for a job, then these templates will help you. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. It's so good to have you here. My name is Daniela. I'm a YouTuber based in the United Kingdom, and I create content on everything lifestyle, career, faith, and every other interesting stuff. So if this is your vibe, please do well to subscribe. In fact, please subscribe now and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. If you're not already aware, I recently got a job here in the UK. After 3 months of actively searching, I landed my first job offer here in the UK. And I shared that in another video, which I would link in the description box. So if you've not seen that video, please go and watch it. And also, I made another video specifically dedicated towards the tips that helped me land that job in the UK. So if you're looking to land a job in the UK or anywhere in the world, those tips will really help you because they are universal. As long as you're searching for a job, those tips will help you because they can be applied universally. So I'll link that video in the description box as well. So in that video where I share tips that would help you land a job, I mentioned that in order to land a job quickly, your CV has to be structured properly, and when you're reaching out to people on LinkedIn, there's a certain structure that would help you get quicker responses from people. So that's what I'll be sharing in today's video. However, if you want to know other things that I did that helps me land a job here in the UK, then go and watch that video, because this video will just be focusing on CV templates and LinkedIn messaging templates. Let me first start by saying this CV template and LinkedIn messaging template is not a magic wand. It is not a magic wand. It is not going to magically get you a job. You need to put in the correct content and position yourself correctly. And also, I'll put a link in the description box below for you to download the CV template. Please note that the CV template is not something that you copy verbatim. No, you need to structure it and tailor it to suit your own background and experience. Please do not copy it verbatim. It's just a guide. It's a guide and a template for you to use. The details on that CV is just fictional. It is not a real person. I have my phone here and I've made a list of all the things I want to talk about. So let's start with the CV template. We'll start with what should not be on your CV, because that's where a lot of people get it wrong. First of all, whether you're applying for a job in Nigeria or in the UK or anywhere in the world, but especially in the UK, your picture should not be on your CV. Your picture shouldn't be on your CV, especially in the UK where there's a lot of regulation around data protection, and also to avoid bias, your picture shouldn't be on your CV. So if you have your picture on your CV, that's the first thing you should take out. Remove it, fling it away. Also, your date of birth, state of origin, full house address shouldn't be on your CV. You do not need to put your house number on your CV. Those are personal details, personal information, and it shouldn't be on your CV. So if you're in Nigeria, you don't need to put your house number. If you're in the UK, you also don't need to put your house number. Say for example, I stay in Liverpool Street in London. I just say Liverpool Street, London. That's all. Liverpool Street, London, United Kingdom. There's no need to say you stay in flat 20, Richard Court, Liverpool Street, London, United Kingdom. There is no need to give that much specific detail on your CV. So those are things off the top of my head that shouldn't be on your CV. So let's get straight into it. I'll put a screenshot here or here for you guys to follow along as I go through the CV. However, there will be a link in the description box below for you to download the CV. A lot of people tend to ask, how long should my CV be? How many pages should my CV be? This is my own personal opinion and the way I think about it. If you have 2 years of work experience and below, say you have 2 years or 1 year, or you do not have any work experience, my advice would be keep your CV to 1 page. one page. So if you have 1.5 year experience, like if you have 18 months experience, or 12 months, or 13 months, or 14 months, or 2 years, anything 2 years and below, keep your CV to one page. There's no need for you to have a CV that is 2 to 3 pages as someone with 2 years or less experience. But it is better for you to keep it concise, simple, and relevant to the role you are applying for. There is no need for your CV to be more than one page if you have 2 years or less of work experience. So that's my advice. But if your work experience is more than 2 years, say you have 3 to 8 years of work experience, then you can now start thinking of making your CV 2 pages. But if you have 2 years or less of work experience, please keep your CV to one page. One page. Nobody is going to be reading your CV of 2 pages. In fact, once they realize that it's 2 pages, they just swipe left. Like, I'm not interested. So keep your CV to one page, just like I'm showing here on the screen. Before we dive into each section, I would just like to say that you need to ensure that the fonts you use for your CV is legible enough. So I'll advise you using Times New Romans. And in terms of the font size, just make sure it is legible. Don't let it to be too big. Don't let it be too small. Just something legible. I advise font size 12 for the headers, and then for those in between you can use 11 or 10, but just make sure it is legible for whoever is going to be reviewing your CV. So let's keep it moving. Again, this CV template was not created by me. It was created by someone else, but it is something I've used over the years and has helped me significantly. That's why I am choosing to share it. The first part, as you can see, is in this person's name. The person's name is Your Obeng. If you have a middle name, you can put it. I shortened my middle name. So my first name, my middle name, and then my surname. My middle name, like I said, is quite long. So I just shortened it to like the first 2 syllables. But this person here just used his first name and his second name. Let's use his as his gender. So his first name and his second name. So Your Obeng, right? So if your name is very long, you can put your first name in full, but if your middle name is very long, I'll advise that you just shorten it or just keep it as your first name and surname. The next thing is the address. Your address should not have your flat number or your house number. Don't put your house number or your flat number in your CV. If you stay at flat 20 Richard Court, Liverpool Street, London, you don't need to put flat 20 Richard Court, Liverpool Street, London. You can just put Liverpool Street, London. That's all. Staying number 11 Adebayo Street, Ikotun, Lagos. You don't need to put number 11 Adebayo Street, Ikotun, Lagos. You do not need to put that. So just keep it simple. Don't put your house number or flat number. And then your email address. This one is very important. Make sure your email address is on your CV. I also advise you to put a link to your LinkedIn profile. And this goes without saying that if you are going to put a link to your LinkedIn profile in your CV, make sure your LinkedIn profile is well optimized and it looks good, right? You don't want to put, if you know your LinkedIn profile doesn't look good, it's not well optimized, there is no need putting your LinkedIn profile. But if you want to put your LinkedIn profile, then you need to make sure it is well optimized and it looks good. It has all the relevant information there, and it's also even a good opportunity for the recruiter or whoever is reviewing your CV to know more about you. It is very important that you include your email address in your CV. And a quick tip here, make sure your email address is a professional email address. Don't put sexylady@gmail.com. Do not use those type of email address. Make sure it is professional, and by professional I mean it is your name, maybe your first name and your middle name, or your first name and your surname at gmail.com or at yahoo.com or whatever it is. So I'll advise that you also put your phone number on your CV. It is very important. If you have more than one phone number, you can put 2 of them on it, but please don't ensure it's not more than 2. But if you have just one, just put one. To be honest, I put one on my CV, and as you can see on this CV, it's just one. In terms of the overall structure on what to come first, I would say it's very relative. There's no perfect structure, right? People would say if you have more than 2 years work experience, then your work experience should come first, right? But if you have 2 years or less work experience, then your education should come first. It depends on what you're trying to show. And then some people would say that you should include a professional summary in your CV. So in terms of whether or not to include a professional summary, personally, I am indifferent. Some people will say put it, some people will say don't put it. Personally, I am indifferent. For some of my CVs, I have professional summary, but for some, I do not, right? And it's just a thing of preference. I do not have it in most of my CV, does not have a professional summary, but some people will say have it. I'm not against it. I'm not against having it or not. But my advice is if you're going to put a professional summary on your CV, then make sure it is not a generic one. Make sure it is not I'm a motivated individual interested in getting a job. Don't put something like that. Make sure it is very personalized and it carries information about and it includes information about your experience and your background. And also make sure it's not more than 2 to 3 lines. And if you're including a professional summary, that's what's going to come first. So after your name, your address, your phone number, it is going to come next before your education or your work experience. So your professional summary will come immediately after your personal details at the top, your professional summary. We're going to follow this template on the screen. The only thing that is not in this template that I just mentioned is the professional summary. So if you choose to put or include a professional summary in your CV, that's what's going to come next. So people will say that after the professional summary, your work experience should come next. That's also fine, especially when you're someone who did not recently graduate. So if you're not a recent graduate, your work experience should probably come next because that's what you're trying to showcase. But some people also say your education should come next. It depends on personal preference, but we'll just follow what's here. So after your professional summary, your education should come next. So your education, you want to put your university. This person said put University of Ghana, expected, and at this side, at the right hand side, you can see that the person puts expected May 2014. Now, this is a very tricky one. If you're a recent graduate, and by recent graduate, I mean you graduated in 2024, right? I would say put your graduation date. So instead of expected, you say graduation date or graduated December 2024 on the right hand side. However, if you're not a recent graduate, say you graduated in 2020 or 2021, I don't think you should put your graduation date. Remove it completely. Remove it from your CV. If you are not a recent graduate, do not put your graduation date there. And I am saying this from experience. Because there tend to be like I mean, there could be some kind of bias towards people that did not just graduate, right? Especially if you apply for an entry level role, if you're someone with 2 years or less work experience, you're applying for like an analyst role or analyst 1 or analyst 2 role, do not put your graduation date, just leave it out. But if you just graduated from uni, either masters or BSc, put your graduation date, I would advise. And after that, you want to put your course of study, like program, you want to put your grade. So this academic standing is the grade. So if you graduated with a good grade, say a first class, a distinction, a second class upper, all those things, you can put it. But if your grade, if you do not graduate with quote and unquote a good grade, say you graduated with a pass or a third class, you can skip that part. It is not compulsory for you to put your grade. The reason why a lot of people put their grade is because they feel like it's going to give them an edge. So if you graduated with a first class or a distinction or a second class upper, it kind of gives you an edge, right? So you can put that in your CV. But if you did not, please just skip that part. It is not compulsory. Then relevant courses. Again, if you're a recent graduate, you want to put relevant courses. You want to put relevant courses on your CV. What are those courses that you took in school that is relevant to the role you're applying for? But if you're not a recent graduate, again, there is no need to put relevant courses. You have more information to put in your work experience, so skip that part, remove it. When I just graduated from uni, I used to put relevant courses in my CV. But now I don't need to put it again because there's more things for me to put under my work experience than for me to be putting relevant courses. So skip that part. So this achievements or project achievements and awards is for anything that you've worked on, maybe while you were in school or in a particular role, in a particular job that you worked in. You've done something significant that is relevant to the role, then this section is for it, right? So if you won the Dean Honors Award, or you were on the Dean's list, or you were the best graduating student, or you worked on a project, or you got a certain certification, then this section is for it. So if this section can also be project achievement awards and certification, or certification achievements and awards, that's what this section can be about. So if you have a certain certification, maybe HR certification or chartered accountant or CFA or anything, this section is for it. And as you can see, this person put certain dates there. If you don't want to put the date, you can leave it out for this section only, right? So if you don't want to put the date when you got this certification or when you got this award, you can leave it out. Personally, I would not put it. I did not put it on my own CV, but this person has put it on his own CV. So that's fine too. But I don't have it in mind. So again, there's no hard or fast rule for this. Moving on to the work experience. If you are not a recent graduate, you can choose to put your work experience immediately after your professional summary or immediately after your education, skipping the achievements, award, and certification section. You can leave that out entirely. If you don't have anything to put under the achievements, projects, and certification section, you can leave that section out. There is no hard or fast rule. You can leave it out and just move straight to your work experience. If you've watched up to this point and you're yet to subscribe, please do well to subscribe and like this video and drop a comment. Let me hear from you. So for your work experience, what I would say, this is like the bulk of it. This is the bulk of your CV. What are those experiences that you have that is relevant to the role you are applying for? Now, first things first, when it comes to your work experience, please make sure that you are not just putting your responsibilities. Again, the CV template is here so that you guys can follow along as I talk about it. Let's look at one of the bullet points under is work experience. Under the sales executive experience, it says initiated new marketing and sales strategies for the ACCE brand. Now, this is good, right? Instead of just saying responsible for creating marketing strategy, he mentioned it specifically. What did he do? He initiated new marketing and sales strategies for the ACCE brand. Now, personally, I would even take it a step further. I can say initiated new marketing strategies for the ACCE brand, which led to 10% increase in sales. Personally, I will take it a step further and even say initiated new marketing strategies for the ACCE brand, which led to 10% increase in sales. Now, the reason why I say take it a step further is because you want to include metrics in your CV. You don't just want to say things that are generic, responsible for creating marketing strategies. That's a responsibility. It's a job description. It is not what you actually did, right? Don't just say responsible for creating marketing strategies. That's just a job description. That's a responsibility. Anybody in that role can do it. But you as a person, while you were in that role, what exactly did you do? What are those actionable things that you did, right? What are those actions that you took in line with your job description? So this person says in his own CV that he initiated new marketing and sales strategies for ACCE brand. So as a person, you want to take it a step further. Instead of just saying initiated new marketing strategies for the ACCE brand, I would say you can take it a step further and say initiated new marketing strategies for the ACCE brand, which led to 10% increase in sales. Now, you said what you did and what the outcome was. So what did you do? What was the outcome of what you did? In terms of the bullet points under your work experience, think about it this way. What did you do? What was the outcome of what you did? What did you do and what was the outcome of what you did? That's how you should think about it. So you initiated new marketing strategies for the ACCE brand and it led to 10% increase in sales. That's the outcome. The 10% increase in sales is the outcome, and what you did was initiating new marketing strategies. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? I don't know if this makes sense, but I hope it really makes sense to you. And that's how you go about your bullet points. And also put the dates, the relevant dates of the duration. And again, under your work experience, make sure it is in chronological order. Your education too, if you have more than one degree, say you have a master's and your BSc, your master's should come before your BSc. Make sure the most recent experience is before the other one, right? Make sure your CV is in chronological order, your work experience in chronological order. So your most recent work experience should be at the top, then the next all the way down. A lot of people would say, hi, I'm a recent graduate, I don't have any work experience, I've not worked in any place. Does your mommy have a shop? Did you help your mom sell things at your mom's store? Then that's a work experience. When you were in school, did you organize coaching lessons for students? That's a work experience. Did you lead a project when you were in school? That's a work experience. You don't necessarily need to work at a big company or a big firm before you put it on your CV. If your mom has a shop and you worked at your mom's shop, or your dad has a store or a pharmacy and you worked at your dad's store, put it there. Or your auntie, you helped your auntie during one holiday, put it there. Structure your CV. It's the way you structure it. That's the way it is. You don't need to work at a fancy place before you can put it on your CV. That's my advice. Moving on to the leadership experience. So this leadership experience, you can combine it with your volunteering experience. You don't need a separate section for that. You don't need a separate section for that, but this person has divided it. So for your leadership experience, if there are certain things you did when you were in school, you can put it under your leadership experience. Or maybe outside school, you are part of an organization. This person has created another section for his volunteering experience. I would say that you don't need to divide it. You can combine both. And then in terms of skills and interests, your hobbies, this is where it comes in. You don't need to put hobbies, just write skills and interests, then put it there. So what are the skills? If you have technical skills, you can choose to divide it into technical and soft skills, or you can just put as skills together. If you are proficient in certain softwares, you can put it under this section. If you have if you can speak multiple languages, you put it under this section. You can put your interest. If your interest is not something that is interesting, I think you can skip it. But if your interest is like playing saxophone or playing scoring music, or there's one interesting interest, then put it. But if your interest is just watching movies, please don't put it on your CV. Don't put watching movies as your interests on your CV. Don't let them see you as an unserious person, right? You're trying to get a job, you're trying to position yourself in the best light possible. And then some people will put references. Personally, I advise that you should not put your references on your CV. Don't put references on your CV. But if you now want to put it, just put references and say available or on request. Don't put other people's information on your CV, right? If you have to include that references section, then just say it's available on request. But personally, I'll say you should skip it. Don't put it on your CV. And that's about it when it comes to CVs. When it comes to the CV template, I would say that in terms of general formatting tips, your font size should be something that is legible. Don't use something that the reader cannot easily read, or whoever is reviewing your CV cannot easily read. Our advice, font size 12, and for the bullet points, maybe you can use 11 or 10, but don't go below that. Don't use font size 8. The person will just be straining their eyes to read your CV, and that's already a turn off. Again, keep your CV to 1 page if you have 2 years work experience or less. And if you have more than that, keep it to 2 pages at best. Maybe if you're a researcher or you're the MD, keep it to 3 pages. In terms of the fonts, you don't need anything fancy. Keep it to Times New Roman. Make it simple as possible. And the longer your CV does not mean the better it is. Keep your CV as concise and as relevant as possible. And another tip that is very important, keywords. For your work experience section, you need to put keywords in your CV. So what are those keywords in the job description in the job you're applying for? So in the job descriptions, they will say certain things they expect the candidate to have. Look for the keywords in the job description and put it in your work experience section, in your leadership experience section, and even in your professional summary if you are including that. Put keywords there. And thank God we have AI now, so you can use ChatGPT to generate keywords. Copy the job description, put it in ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to generate the keywords in this job description and include it in your CV. When you ask ChatGPT to generate these keywords for you, use those keywords in your CV again, so that when you submit your CV, it will pass through there's this thing they use ATS. So if human beings are not reviewing your CV, sometimes they use AI to review your CV. So you would be able to pass through that space. I hope this CV tips has been helpful for you. Again, the link to this CV template will be in the description box. Otherwise, you can just take a screenshot here. The link to the CV will be in the description box below. You can download it. But when you download it, please do not copy it the way it is. Tailor it to suit your own experience. And if you want to take a screenshot of the CV, I'll put it here again or here for you to take a screenshot of it, copy it and tailor it to suit your experience. Don't just copy it and use it like that. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the LinkedIn template. Another general tip is make sure you proofread your CV. After you've written everything and you drafted your CV, proofread it. And if there's someone you trust, or if there's someone a friend or anything, you can send your CV to them, ask them to help you review it and proofread it, because what you do not want to do is make mistakes on your CV. And another general formatting tip is do not put full stop at the end of each bullet point on your CV. I see a lot of people do that. So whenever I review their CV, do not put full stop. Just leave it that way. As you can see in this CV, there are no full stop at the end of each bullet point. So remove the full stop at the end of each bullet point in your CV and make sure your CV is well formatted, it is aligned, there's nothing that is overlapping each other, there's nothing that is coming out of the margin. Just ensure that the formatting is great and the structure is good. So beyond ensuring that the content is good, you want to ensure that the formatting of your CV is also great and on point. When you're saving your CV, make sure you are saving it in PDF. Don't save your CV in Word document. So ensure it is saved in PDF, and when you're saving it, save it with your name, your first name and your surname. Don't save your CV as just CV. Put your first name, your surname, and then maybe CV at the end or resume at the end. For the LinkedIn template, when you want to message anyone on LinkedIn, the goal is to keep it short, simple, and relevant. You want to sell yourself. Think about it. How do I sell myself to this person? How do I make sure that the message is short and at the same time it carries the information that I want the person to know about me? Now, I'll put a screenshot of a template here for you guys to see. The link to this one will not be in the description box, so you need to take a screenshot if you want to learn. So just take a screenshot of the template, and as you can see, it is just straight to the point. It carries all the information. You want to keep it short. Nobody has time to be reading an essay about you, so keep it short and simple. What's your name? What qualification do you hold? What is your work experience or your background, and what do you want from this person? That's all. And let me just say that a lot of people might not respond to you when you message them on LinkedIn. So if you message 50 people, maybe just 10 out of those 50 will respond to you. Don't say, oh, this template is not working. The fact that you have this template does not mean people will automatically respond to you. Just bear that in mind. Maybe if you message 50 people, maybe just 10 or 15, and if you're lucky, maybe 20 or 30 people will respond to you. So people will read your message and leave you unread. Yes, leave it. That's just take it like that. I'm telling you now before you go and send the message. Some people will see your message, read it, and they will never respond. But some people would not even see it, they will not even open it, and some people will open it and respond to you. So I'm going to put a screenshot of the template here. So again, your name, what your experience is, what you want from the person, and salutations. That's all. You need to just keep it simple. And some of them will say you should send your CV to their email. Now, please, when they ask you to send CV to their email, I beg you in the name of God, please don't just send your CV without anything in the body of the email. People do that a lot. Or they will just say, "Dear sir, please find attached. Best regards." Teniola, and send your CV. No, that's not what you do. You need to reintroduce yourself to them as if they are seeing it, because they probably haven't forgotten that they said somebody should send their CV to them. So I'll probably just put a screenshot of a message you can put in the body of the email. I'll put it here or here for you to see what you can say in the body of your email when you're sending your CV. Or you can just ask ChatGPT to draft something for you. Tell ChatGPT, I am trying to send an email. I want to send an email to someone who requested for my CV on LinkedIn. What should I say in the body of the email? That's the simple thing. And ChatGPT will draft something for you that you can put in the email. Also, when in the subject of the email, you can put application for XYZ role, and maybe application for analyst role, then your name and your surname, Teniola Mufola. So I would say application for analyst role, hyphen Teniola Mufola. That's what I would say. And then in the body of the email, I'll write a message, reintroduce myself to the person, saying that the person asked me to send my CV, and this is my CV, and I'm open to further questions, blah blah blah, something like that. So don't just send your CV without any message in the body of the email. Please do not do that. Do not do that. It's a turn off. So we have now come to the end of today's video. If you've watched up to this point, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I hope you have found this video very helpful. Again, I have gotten at least 4 job offers using this CV template and LinkedIn messaging template, and I really pray and hope that you would also land your dream job. Like I said earlier, I've landed several job offers. In fact, at least 4 job offers using this LinkedIn messaging template and this CV template, and which is why I decided to come here to share with you guys, because I want more people to be aware of this, and I want them to be able to land their dream role or anything they want, either a full-time job, an internship, a contract role, or a remote job, using this LinkedIn template and this CV template. When I say I've gotten at least 4 job offers using this template, it means I have used this template and it has landed me job interviews that led to job offers. So this template would help you land job interviews that will lead to job offers. You still need to perform very well in your job interviews to get the offer, right? The fact that you use these templates would not automatically get you a job. You still need to do very well and perform very well during your job interviews. I use this template and I still had to perform and prepare for my interview before getting those job offers. So you will not automatically just get a job using this template. You need to prep very well during your interviews. And if you want me to speak more on how to prepare for job interviews or share tips that have helped me during my job interview, let me know in the comment section and I'll make another video entirely for that. I did not hoard the information. It worked for me. It has worked for me several times, and I chose to come here to share it with you guys. So you too, do the same. Do not hoard information. Share this video to at least one person that you know would find it helpful. If you don't know anybody, just copy the link and share it on your WhatsApp status, share it on your Instagram story or your Twitter page or your TikTok story, and let more people hear, and give people the opportunity to learn from it as well, and give people the opportunity to learn from this video too. Thank you so much once again. I pray you land your dream role soon. Bye, and I wish you success in your job search. Bye. See you in my next video. Bye.